Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Marcus Aurelius, and this is Dominions 4, Thrones of Ascension, Byzantine Pythium. I just want to say again that I love you guys. I know that when I go to bed at night, I will come up in the morning and see a bunch of really entertaining and often quite insightful comments, and I appreciate a lot of it. And I'm obviously taking it all into consideration. So one thing I'm doing is Emperor Burnsaber is going to be hanging out a little bit longer in Cimmery here, where the throne is. He's going to be building a lab. He is going to be doing this so that we can start recruiting gnomes who have 2 earth and 2 nature. Now, as you know, my nation has no nature, so this is perfect. And we have 2 earth, but it's like a 1 in 100 shot of getting it. So these guys are going to be greatly involved. And I think now is a good time to talk a little bit about the historical Byzantine Empire, because one thing that's unique, well, not unique, but one thing that's interesting about the Byzantine Empire was that unlike other nation states at the time, and really the term nation state doesn't even apply because that's more of a modern contrivance, but they were not in any way homogeneous. And for those of you who are young, perhaps, homogeneous means that everyone's the same. So you look at, say, Sweden today. Sweden today is mostly homogeneous. Everyone there is Swedish. Most of them, the vast majority, are white, you know, of that genetic background. Whereas you look at somebody like America or Canada, and they are heterogeneous. They basically are different. And the Byzantine Empire was very heterogeneous. It was Greek nominally, but only about 1/4 of its inhabitants even spoke Greek. And those were just in the major cities and the provincial capitals and such. So, like the historical Byzantine empire, our Pythian empire is a loose coalition of many sorts of people. We of course have the native Pythians, but we also have General Wallace's people from Gol Raip, and we have the lizards, and finally we have the gnomes. So we are forging alliances so that our empire is strong with multiple different groups and ethnicities. So I like that. I feel like we're being very true to the spirit of the Byzantine Empire. So that's the only change I've made though, so we can end the turn. Oh, and I updated the mod. Burnsaber released a new version with new updates. Okay, Conjuration and Construction. I gained both of them. Was I? Yeah, I was trying to do that. Okay, good. No magic sites in Bergamum. Another Bergamum, you know. I know it's been made clear to me in the comments of the videos that you can't add new provinces to the pool, and I just think that's silly. I mean, you can create a map and name your own provinces whatever you want, but if you just want the random province names to be more diverse, there's nothing we can do about that. So maybe it's something that the developers, when they get a moment, can add into it. I don't know anything about computer programming, but I would assume it's not very difficult. I mean, just adding some, if you have a list of random names, just add more to it, right? I don't know. Anyway, let's view the battle. Let's see what Scalaria is up to. They're attacking the Independents. Okay, I think this is our first battle, is it? Where we actually see Scalaria? No, I don't think it's the first one, but let's give you an idea of what they are. First, we have some ghouls. They are yucky. They have 0 protection, low magic resistance though, so they can be banished relatively easily. High morale, but not incredible 50 morale that skeletons have. They have a poisoned claw, however. Then we have a Scalarian cultist, Marius. Hey, he's named after our scout. Level 1 priest. And they have lictors, we've already seen. They hurt the dead. And Principes of their own. And Triarius of their own. And they have, what we don't have, they have a standard, which raises the morale of the unit they're in. I forget if regular Pythium has that. Their leader is a Praetorian Guard. He's not a leader at all. He's like their hardcore bodyguard unit. I guess he's the equivalent of our Varangians. Although our Varangians have an axe and he has a sword, so we're better. And I think that's it. Looks like their lower guys are purple. They have the purples just like we do with the skull, and then the heavier guys have the black with the skull. And well, this is gonna be interesting. Oops. They've got blood slaves and a ton of infantry. And you can see the ghouls blowing up. That's a spell called Dust to Dust, which is a death spell, and it's actually quite good. It's really good, actually. And it looks like Ermor, or not Ermor, I'm sorry, Scaleria is indeed going to be triumphant. Well, they only are independents. And their infantry is quite good. Let's see if the blood slaves can do any damage to them. Get them! No. Well, I guess they're only effective against elephants and battle vestals. Okay, this is us versus Oceania in Olithia. We are continuing our crusade against them, which may be ill-advised simply because we cannot follow them into the ocean, but they're pretty weak on land, so let's just take a look here. Those are minotaurs. What? Okay, so they're Ictitars, so they're underwater minotaurs. They still trample, however, and they are berserking, so they're just as tough as regular minotaurs, except they're wearing shark skin armor instead of metal armor. So they, as a result, they should have less protection. Their defense is very poor. So as combatants, they are very poor. They just trample, which is tough. And then these guys are actually better. These Ictisator soldiers, in terms of stats, but they don't trample, of course. And then I think this is just a plain old. Wait, no, that's an Ictisator soldier. Am I just doing this wrong? Is it just me, or is this guy different? This guy, isn't he different? Oh, Ictisator Commander. Okay. Alright. Sorry about that, folks. I just thought he looked different. And I don't think we're in any trouble mopping these guys up, even with their Minotaurs, because we have Varangians. And I was correct. Though I'm sure we suffered losses. We lost 2 Velites, 4 Varangians, who that's a tough price to pay, and 1 Principe. Tiosh. We are fighting the independents in the swamp. I think this is where the throne is. So we should see some, yes, we have some. Man, these circle guys are everywhere, but if Scaleria can take them out, certainly we should be able to. Our Vestals are ready to go. So, I realized that in a couple of the earlier episodes I have teased to you but never actually said what my connection was with the Byzantine Empire. And, I'll slow the battle down for a little bit. What? My Vestals are dying like crazy to light infantry. What is going on here? So anyway, basically, I have no actual connection. I mean, I'm not Greek or of Greek heritage. I am not Orthodox. And I'm also in America, where the Byzantine Empire is not exactly something that is taught or well known. So how did I come to find out about them, and why do I like them so much? Well, when I was a very young child, I was watching television, and I saw a program about Istanbul. And it was basically about the culture there, how it was a mixture of East and West. It focused a lot on the food, and it was a really cool show, and I remember it just really kind of weighed on my mind. And you know, people would say, oh, I want to go to England, or I want to go to Italy, or I want to go to the Bahamas, and I'd be like, I want to go to Istanbul. I just liked being different, I guess. And so then came, the years passed, and then came the video game Medieval Total War. Now, I don't mean 10 out of 31. Yikes. I don't mean Medieval 2. I mean the original Medieval. This is Oceania attacking us in the Promised Land. And I was playing it, and I saw that the Byzantine Empire was in there as a faction, and I kind of fell in love with it. I was like, wow, Varangians and Cataphracts, those are so cool. And I guess part of me also liked it because it was unusual. It's not something that anyone knew about. Like, everybody knew who England was and who France was, but at that point in my life, I had never heard much about the Byzantine Empire. So since then, I have played them in pretty much every single game that's been released where they're a playable faction. So that's Eastern Roman Empire in Rome, obviously Medieval and Medieval 2. I played them in Crusader Kings 2. I want to play them in Europa Universalis 4, but they start off in a really bad position, and you have to be kind of an expert to do that. Afroy. So these are like Ichthys centaurs, but they have poison barb covered coral armor. These guys are pretty tough, actually, and they are sacred. And like Pangaea, all of their troops heal afflictions. Shoot. So we lost that. And that, of course, that means that my troops are cut off. These guys better not win with just 3 of them. So yeah, so obviously I went beyond just playing games. I read a bunch of books on the Byzantine Empire, many of which I own, have not read yet. But I think what really kind of settled it is I actually visited Istanbul, which is something that I'd always wanted to do, and I actually went there, you know, and I touched the wall of Theodosius with my hand. It still stands. You know, I touched, well, parts of it still stand. I went into the Hagia Sophia, which for like 1,000 years was the largest and most impressive place of worship in the entire world. And it still stands today, even after being built by Justinian way back in the Byzantine period. And it just was really, really cool and really amazing. So that is why, despite not being Greek, despite not having any natural connection to the Byzantine Empire, and frankly, I'm also not blind to its faults. It was in all things a autocratic theocracy, and certainly being a citizen under it was not as good as, say, being a citizen in a modern democracy today, such as Western Europe or the United States. You certainly didn't have the level of rights and privileges that we enjoy today. So I'm not like thinking, oh my God, it's the greatest place ever. But still, I think it's fascinating, and I find its history very intriguing, and that is why I am a fan. So there you go. All the information you never really wanted to know. Okay. I need to... These guys are going to have to pull back. I cannot let another group of troops get segued like this. All of you guys are going to stay here. Should you stay here? Cameo, I need you to join the troops. Alright, Cameo is going to go up here and join the troops. Is he ready to go? Oh, we just have him casting spells. That is no good. We'll have to... Okay, body ethereal, definitely. Oops, no, not attack. And these are not skeletons, so any kind of astral is kind of a waste. Immolation, perhaps? No, that's not... I think combustion is what I'm thinking about. Targeted enemy is set ablaze. Ignores enemy armor, but is not always strong enough to kill the victim. That's fine. Or we could mind burn. 12 magic armor negating. Do they have high magic resistance? I'm not even sure. Well, we can let's try them both. We'll do mind burn. We'll do combustion. We'll do starfires. We're just gonna try a little bit of everything, huh? But not fireflies. Flame bolt? No, it only attacks one person. That's kind of stupid. Bonds of fire. That's only one person too, though. This only is harmless against humans. I don't know if the Ichthys centaurs, whatever, are magical beings. I do not believe that they are. And I don't know. Let's do another combustion, and we'll just cast spells. All right. So that's what Cameo's up to, since we have Melos blessing our Vestals, and we'll move Cameo actually up here. All right. So that should be fun. Meanwhile, Calchas and Ascanios are going to be searching for magic sites, and it is time for our next fortress. Theodoric, will you please build a fortress? Now let's see, these take 5 months, and they give us admin of 25, defense of 250. These are 6 months, they cost a lot more, they give an admin of 30, and they have 400 defense. So for defensive purposes, obviously this one's much better. Now I don't think 5 extra admin, which means 5% increase to income, is really all that big a deal. at the end of the day. Really, I just want these castles to build more mages. They're not all going to be huge troop production facilities. So I think right now speed is more of the essence and cost effectiveness. So I'm going to build a fortress. Which of course means that I won't be hiring any troops except for my Vestals in my capital. I already cut down the Varangians. And I think it's time for a Theurg Artisan because I need to start forging icons, which are awesome. And they have a cool forge bonus. And just so you're aware, I'm going to keep recruiting these guys since they're only recruitable in the capital. And I'm going to try to get one of each because some of the icons have different levels of what you need for them. There's different icons and I want them all because they're all really good. So for example, I want fire, air, water, earth, and astral one of these guys. Now if I get two of the same one, see I get 2 fire, well one of them's going to leave the castle and he is going to join the battlefield as a communion slave, most likely, or just another priest to banish undead. But there's going to be one in each that I'm going to give boosters to, and they're going to be my main forgers. So that's how that is going to go, and we'll repeat that for the moment. Okay, Burnsaber, you can come back home now that we have our gnomes. And how much do they cost? They're quite reasonable at 170 gold, but we cannot afford them, unfortunately, in this turn. We will in the next turn. Tolmac, we'll have you continue on with your site searching. And we have a throne. That's the lower throne, which is the exact one we don't really want. I mean, I'll take the Dominion spread, but what am I going to do with 5 blood slaves a turn? I wish I could turn them into Vestals and have them attack my enemies. That would be much more useful for me. Out of all the thrones, that's the one I would least wanted. Oh well. That's a shame. And it also sets me up for some bad events, like Bogus the Troll coming in and trying to steal away my Vestals. Okay, so I'm bringing a lizard. Every army is going to have a lizard, because the lizard will protect my Vestals and give them some protection, because as you saw in this recent battle, even against light infantry, they can die quite easily if they are not in a good protected situation. Okay, you're still preaching? Good. Let's see where everybody is. You're here. I'm leaving you here to keep an eye on Ashdod. You're here. I'll leave you here too. You're trying to find the Olmish capital, Jay. So let's move you up here. You're good where you are. There's another Olmish throne. Etionos, you are going to... What does Tolmac have? Alright, fire, astral. So you are water. You're going to search for magic sites. Fangolwolf. You are not completely full yet, but I think you're ready to go. I'm giving you this Scepter of Authority, which gives you a command of 25. I wish it gave you inspiration, but you already have that, but more would be nice. I don't need extra command at this moment. But it gives you a ranged attack, which means you can attack my enemies without putting yourself in danger. Oh, I don't want to retreat. And that is very valuable to me. Hold and attack rearmost. Hold and attack rearmost. Actually, this is kind of a bad situation, isn't it? We're going to take away the vessels, give them to Hecamede, who, by the way, we are going to name. I don't have my list of names in front of me, but between episodes, between this episode and the next, I will name everyone. This is going to be... Oh, it's JB's character. It's We Are One backwards is the name. So we're going to cast Blessing, 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 and then which one did she end up? Oh, she was Astral. Excellent. So I'm actually rolling it. Let's only do 2 blessings and 2 body ethereals, which will affect the Vestals as well. And luck. Okay, so the Vestals are holding. I don't know if all these spells are going to affect them. They might run away before she can get to luck, but we'll see. And then after that, I'm just going to have her stay in the back and cast spells. I'm not going to have her harm herself by getting involved in battle. Okay, so actually, you know what? Shoot, I don't know if Fangolwolf is ready to go out. Of course, we're not recruiting any troops, so things aren't going to get any better. I guess he's going to move north, since we need more troops to the north more than we need troops to the south. That's great. An astral one is fantastic. Okay, these guys are researching. We're kind of doing poorly in the researching department, and I understand that. Okay. Research. Conjuration. We can get another level of that, which is nice. Alright. No sights. No sights. But Etonos has found a magical site in Juek. That's cool. Alright, let's see what Ashdod looks like, folks. We haven't seen them yet. Of course, this means now I have to move my scout. So, they are giants, but there are multiple types of giants, okay? So you have your little baby giants here, the Edomites. And they're giants, but they are, where does it say, size 3. I thought that was human. I guess humans are size 2. Then we have the Gileadites, who are size 4. And they're also gluttonous, apparently. And then we have Adons, the Anakim, who are size 5. They are the real deal Holyfield giants. They have Earth 2, Priest level 2. He has some Earth gems. And these blue guys are the Amorites. So there's different tribes of giants, and they each have, I guess, different skills. These guys have a poison-tipped spear. And the red guys... Hey, come back, red guys. The red guys have hunger, and they're the most numerous, I guess. Okay, well, that's not too helpful. Let's see how they do against heavy cav. Not incredibly well, happily. And they're running. So a bad day to be Ashdod. Get their leader. Nope, he made it out. Oh well. Next we have Ermor and Barale. Uh-oh, they're coming up for this throne. And, ooh, okay, so we've got some new guys to look at. We have Knights of the Unholy Sepulchre. Low hit points, but good protection, good defense, excellent morale. They're mindless, they never heal. But I think that means they do heal, though, when you put them in a place with a lab, I believe. Maybe not. Lifeless, undead, poison resistant, cold resistant, pierce resistant. So remember now, arrows are pretty much useless against skeletons. Poor amphibians, and they are sacred. And who are you? Oh, Mound King. I thought Mound Kings were always mounted. I didn't know that there were infantry Mound Kings. That's kind of neat. I wonder if that's something that only Ermor can do, or if that's just something I've missed. And they're against barbarians. And, oh boy. I thought the barbarians would be pretty successful, but they're not. I mean, not successful in the sense that they have strong weapons and can do a lot of damage. Okay, well... Oh, okay, I thought Ulm was declaring war on me, but it turns out they are not. We just took a neutral province that Ulm wants. So obviously we successfully took it. I don't need to see that because we're running out of time, but let's see Ulm. What are they bringing against us? Okay, they're bringing against us two types of units here. We have their standard axemen, their infantry, but we also have their black plate pikeneers. Now remember, this black plate is fantastic. 21 protection, really low defense. So if you gang up on them, if you have a lot of troops attacking them at the same time, you can hit them pretty hard. But they have a length 6 pike and a protection of 21 and 12 hit points. So they are pretty difficult dudes. Let's see how we do. Well, the desiccation is certainly helping. The Vestals don't appear to even be able to hit them. Now, I could have gone different ways here with the Vestals. I could have had a Fire 9 Bless, which would have given them flaming weapons, which would have now allowed them to do much more damage to highly armored troops like these. But I figured most of my enemies were going to be undead, and it doesn't help that much against them. But we desperately need protection for these Vestals because their survivability is quite low when they are on the defensive. And we did beat off Ulm, or... Oh god, I need to stop doing that! We defeated Ulm on the field of battle. They lost 16 guys. We lost 11, including 3 of our Vestals. Oh no, Monkey! They killed Monkey! How is such a thing possible? Monkey was heroic and brave and strong. It is Monkey, right? Yep. Yeah, Monkey 2, heroic endurance! What in the... Did he get him with a crossbow? He's hiding behind a nice little tree. Let's see, okay. There he is. And he's charging to the front. That's why, in a fit of bravery, I said, stay behind the troops, Monkey, and boom. Hit by an axe. Well, folks, we have suffered our first casualty. May the spirits bless Monkey, and may he and his ancestors have an enjoyable rest in the afterlife. We are attacking Oceania in the Promised Land. This will be our big battle of the turn. Hopefully, we will be victorious. And... oh boy. Well, here we go. Our chaff is probably not going to have a very good day. But hopefully our Varangians and Vestals will make up for that. Come on, guys. To be honest, I expected more out of my Vestals. They don't seem to be hitting a lot. Again, maybe my Bless just wasn't as good as it could have been. But I figured with a long spear they would be... they have an attack skill of 13. I mean, that's pretty good, right? And it's a 12 length 4 attack. And it pierces armor to a degree. Ugh. It was a tough battle, but I think we got this one. And the hit point boost for the Bless helps too with the poison that they give. 8 Velites, only 3 Vestals, 4 Varangians, so we came out of that pretty well. We lost more troops in total than they did, though. And Dentatus was discovered and attacked in Holoma, so we have lost a scout. Oh, no, well, I didn't want to watch this. I forgot to move him, did I? Or no, this is the same exact turn that they conquered it, huh? Oy, oy, oy. And for those who wonder, a scout cannot escape if there is not one of my provinces next to the province that he is in. Alright, we found an enchanted well. Okay, so Yams is on his own here. That is not entirely a good thing. I need a commander of some type of variety. Just for now. An independent commander will do. Is this the... no. I guess here is where I'll build my the next fort. My southern fort. But Ulm... oh! And there, that wait, no. Is that their cap? No. Wait. I still know where their capital is. Jay, keep looking, buddy. I mean, I would expect that this should be it, because they like to build fortifications on thrones. I don't think it's possible to start on a throne. But it does show me, however, that I'm lagging behind in fortifications. I have one going up, and you know what? It would be a good idea to build one in the Promised Land. It is a field province. It connects to 2 high production provinces at least, and it's a good location for us to keep an eye on them. Although Ivermark might be a better idea since it borders so many other provinces. However, Ivermark can't protect my capital in the same way that the Promised Land can. And Melos is not doing well. He's diseased and he's lost all his 2 eyes. Man. General Wallace is now a hero. Heroic quickness, which is not really what I want for him. Oh boy. But it does give him more troop abilities. Well, he still doesn't lead 3 squads effectively. But I don't really care. -1 morale, that makes these girls 10, which is standard. Well, oh, 9. I don't really need Padra, though, and I'd rather have him go and do something valuable. What I'm just going to have to do is Cameo, as valuable as his attack skills are, I'm just going to have him... well, Melos can bless for the moment until he dies, which will unfortunately happen sooner rather than later. Oh, crap. Alright, Cameo. You are blessing, and then we don't have time to etherealize. We're just going to have to Sermon of Courage to keep my morale up, and then cast spells. And we're going to move you down with the Vestals, along with your bodyguard. Well, your bodyguard's already there. Okay, that was kind of dumb of me. Alright, so morale shouldn't be a problem just yet. Meanwhile, Padro is going to... I don't want this castle to be taken over if I spend the money on it. So maybe I should move the whole army here. We do have Fangawolf coming up. He can defend against. They don't have many troops. Alright. Cameo, General Wallace, and Melas are all going to move here. Padro is going to move back to the capital. These two are going to move here, I guess, to continue along with their site searching. Fangawolf is going to go up here, along with Lugalazbu. So that means that Fangawolf is going to stay behind these guys. Lugalazbu. How does Ethereal Varangians sound to you guys? Sounds pretty dang good to me. They don't need... Well, the protection would actually help them because they're humans. Alright, protection first, and then Ethereal. They're holding, so that should get them that long at least. And then... Ooh, Tanglevines or Starfire's Tanglevines. Alright, so we're already putting our lizards to work here. Cast spells. And the Varangians are going to hold an attack, which means that my province defense, that currently does not exist, will take the brunt of the attack. 15. Okay. So everybody's going to move here, and we're going to build a castle here next turn. That seems fair. Why? Wow, there's death everywhere. Is this... It's not Oceania, is it? It tells me it's enemy dominion, but it doesn't tell me whose. But death 3, man, that's terrible. I mean, I need to fight that off. And then, of course, Ermor is death 3. That goes without saying.